Today, I want to share something about our project, the Digital Great Wall. And we are from CROS of Tencent Games. I'm one of the technical artists in the project. I will show things we made by the help of Houdini. First, let's check a demo video of this project. Okay, let's check the list of the content. I will give an introduction of the Digital Great Wall project first, and then talk about how we work on terrain simply. After that, we go to the topic on foliage generation and fog creation. Then, I will say something about VFX. Finally, it will end up with digital content optimization. Well, let me firstly introduce the Digital Great Wall project. This project is a digital heritage conservation project, and it's non-profit. It moved 1 kilometer long 喜分口潘家口 section of the Great Wall into mobile phones. We used Unreal 5 to build the scene, and this brought the stunning visual quality. A more exciting thing is that people can access the game through WeChat mini program with the power of cloud game. Work on terrain. We use real map data to make the terrain surrounding the Great Wall. We then add some details. After getting the final height map, we import it into Unreal. The whole process is so smooth and easy to iterate. Foliage generation is the most important part of work for Houdini in this project. We were going to plant about 200,000 of vegetations in the level, but we also wanted them to be flexible and easy to tweak. At the same time, we also needed to control the final result precisely. Houdini then would be the best choice for this kind of task. The outline of our workflow is like this. First, we get some masks and blend these masks as the ranges to scatter vegetation points. Then, we need to create some distribution patterns. These kind of patterns can represent the growth rules of biome. Based on them, we can make different kinds of forests with different look. We save the preset data out somewhere and do the scattering based on the mask data we get previously. After that, we will get the final vegetation points. We pack these functions into HDA and import the HDA into Unreal by using Houdini engine. Finally, Houdini engine translates these data to real foliage types in the level. This video will give you the rough idea. Now, we check the mask process. This motion picture shows the basic masks we make before blending. Taking advantage of the height field mask by feature node, height field noise node, together with other nodes, we can create our own UI for generating the masks. And this has been integrated into the HDA, as you can see. These masks we get in the first step cannot be directly used for scattering trees. We have to blend them to get the accurate range for planting trees. We firstly subtract height mask from 1, saying we don't want to see trees on the water. Then we will remove some area based on the distance from the Great Wall. For most of the time, it is impossible for a real-time content to render too many trees. We have to think about the budgets of foliage, and we need to control the total count of trees. Usually, we keep the details at near distance, so we remove the trees far away from the Great Wall, and also for the trees we cannot see in vision. To make the vegetations nearby more realistic and vivid, we'd better split the immediate area into several parts and use different distribution process to do the scattering. In the picture, we get tree close area by multiplying another distance mask. And then we get tree close B by subtracting the Great Wall area with some noise, which is another distance mask. On the other hand, we add more randomness to the remaining mask and get tree close A. Later, we can use tree close A and tree close B to generate foliage nearby the Great Wall. This is the motion picture for the process. Okay, then we go to the part of tree scattering. Now, we have finished the preparation for scattering. Our artists picked out some suitable vegetations for the scene. There are about 12 types of trees and 5 types of bushes and grasses. We can see the final results of some distribution process by using these vegetation types. This video shows the process of scattering. Firstly, create the process. By means of Houdini engine, we can easily tweak the parameters in Unreal. And also, it's so fast for us to get instant preview of the final result, with Houdini calculating in the background. Secondly, scatter the process. There are many parameters to control the transform of a single tree. And you can also accurately define their relationship. Different point groups can be assigned with different presets. And these presets can be reused. Next, let's talk about tree assets. When we're working on this project, Unreal Nanny hasn't supported foliage yet. So we have to create LODs for our trees. Although Unreal has SymPolygon embedded, we still use our own manual created LODs for more controls. Absolutely, we use Houdini help to do the job. We make a small tool. Here's the demo. For leaves, we want to keep the profile. Basically, we make tree leaves by these steps. We make a thin piece of polymesh to represent a cluster of leaves, and then duplicate and place them around to make the profile like a real tree. So, based on this feature, there will be two ways to reduce the poly count. Reduce the count of pieces and reduce the poly count of each piece. And we did both. It's easy to reduce the count of pieces, but one thing should be noticed. It's better to scale up the remaining leaf pieces when you're removing some. Otherwise, the tree will look bald. In terms of reducing the poly count of each piece, it's a little bit complicated, as the details of the leaves cannot be clearly seen when far away. We don't need the internal points of the piece, and we only need half, or even only the bounding box of the piece. But in 3D space, it's not easy to get a flat thin half. So, we move the points into positions according to its UV coordinates. Then it's flat. Now it's okay to use a convex hull node or a bound node to get the outline of the leaf piece. Then, we use an extract transform node to move it back. We can see the motion picture for the process. If you want more realistic scene, vegetations cannot always be static. We will need tree animations sometimes. Let's check this video. Trees will always have motions when wind blows. And we move points in vertex shader in Unreal. Tree waves based on clusters or CROS, as we can see in nature. So, we need to control its motion based on clusters. And we need somewhere to store the cluster information, in case our vertex shader can use it when rendering. We also use Houdini to produce the cluster information. First, we assign branch cluster based on connectivity. Then, we transfer the cluster information to each prime. Because each piece of primes can only have the same unique cluster number, we have to iterate all the primes of the piece and see which cluster number is the most suitable one and overwrite the original ones. After that, we store the cluster data to the R channel of vertex color. Actually, if you want to do more in Unreal material, you can save out more information to other vertex color channels, such as distance to the related branches, height to the ground, and etc. Then we go to Unreal. I don't want to say too much on how to work on the shader. The principle is that you can get different random data based on the cluster values and use these data to control the motion. Now, it's the turn for fog creation. For the volumetric fog solution of the Digital Great Wall project, first, the built-in volumetric fog of Unreal Engine is used as the global atmosphere fog. In addition, the combination of using Houdini volume and Unreal Engine helps to create a local volumetric fog. It is mainly reflected in the following two parts. 1. For static fog, converts the fog generated in Houdini into volume texture. Sample the texture in Unreal and use remarching to create volumetric fog. 2. For dynamic fog, use Pyro to simulate and generate a texture sheet. And finally, use Niagara sample texture in Unreal to mimic dynamic volumetric fog. We developed a HDA tool for generating volumetric fog for terrain, which consists of 3 parts. 1. Generate a global volumetric fog box for the entire terrain block. 2. Generate volumetric fog within the specific bounding box. 3. Generate volumetric fog based on the slope of the terrain. Let's check the demo. We have 3 functions for this tool. Function 1. Global terrain. First, generate a unit volume fog box and scale it up proportionally to fit the entire terrain. This generates a volumetric fog box that surrounds the entire terrain. Function 2. Volume box. This shows a user input bounding box to generate volumetric fog in it. Function 3. Slope. Generates volumetric fog in low-lying areas based on the slope of the terrain. We get these benefits from this tool. It is available directly in Unreal via Houdini engine. The fog mesh can be previewed in Unreal, which is convenient to directly control fog shape or frequency. When outputting a volume texture, the resolution and the tile size of the texture will be adapted according to the resolution of the volume, so as to avoid the waste of the texture resolution that is too large or too small, and the loss of the accuracy of the volume. Prevent the generation of too many volumetric fog boxes. This will avoid rendering performance degradation due to a great number of translucent objects in the scene. Making of interactive VFX. For this part, I just want to show some techniques that we used in the project. Houdini provides us more possibilities to create VFX with more complex text. Bake start time into textures. We used this tech for presenting some repair process animation effects. Each point will shine for some time, and we can get the start time and the simple animation curve. This series of start time can be normalized and stored into a texture. We decoded the texture back into time in Unreal. We used the time together with the recreated animation curve to reproduce the effect in Unreal. Let's check the final result in Unreal. Precomputed RBD. For this effect, we do rigid body simulation in Houdini, and then bake the animation by use RBD to FBX node inside FX Labs. This should be an animation with bones. Finally, simply input it into Unreal. We tried to optimize the dense wall meshes to simpler version. But thanks to Nano, we finally didn't use the technique. But I think it still be valuable to show the process. There are 3 steps to deal with the raw meshes. Make a lower mesh and bake the textures. This will be LOD0. And then create other LODs automatically. Finally, generate collisions based on LOD0. Let's check this video. We can mask the area where we want to keep the details. We can do the cleanup and fix the artifacts. Then deal with the UV layout. You can choose different UV styles, and it's flexible. Then we go to the map baker. After that, we assign the baked texture to check the final result. And we go to the Create LD. Tweaking some parameters, we can preview by checking on creating LODs. And that's it. Then we want to create collision boxes. And the whole process is like this. That's all. Thanks for watching.
Hi, question about the foliage. Since you said Nanite doesn't support, so the current foliage that you have is with the, like the old way, not Nanite way, alpha cards. Is that correct?
Are you guys speaking Mandarin too? I know it's Singapore over there. Because most of our colleagues speak Mandarin. If you guys speak Mandarin, they can answer directly. Otherwise, I would need to translate for them.
Calvin, it will be better if you translate, please.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Do you need to repeat the question, or you translating to them now?
Oh yeah, please repeat the questions.
Okay.
So for the trees and the foliage, since you said Nanite is not, like Nanite has not implemented foliage yet, so for all the trees and the foliage, you're still using the, standard alpha cards and a vertex animation. Is that correct?
志明啊，你听不听得到？
我听不太清，那你来翻译一下。
OK， 他应该是问，我也不是听得很清楚啊。他应该是问那些植被的alpha 是怎样处理吧？你说给我听。
植被阿尔法没有特别的处理方式，不太清楚它的一个问题问在哪里。
Yeah, we are not entirely sure your questions. So could you say again? Sorry about that.
Are you using Nanite for the trees?
我们是不是用 Nanite? No, we are not using Nanite.
Okay.
Yeah, for the trees, we basically build a HDA for LODs. In the presentation, it's so we basically have several level LODs, and then the last one is imposter. So we didn't use any Nanite for it.
Any other questions or comments? They may come later online when we post the video. Thanks, Calvin and guys.
Oh. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
再见。